Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a powerful and productive week. Today we're talking about environments. Like, where do you live? Who are the people that you're living with? Are you living alone? Do you have roommates? Are your roommates messy and messing up your routine? Or are they roommates that you have fun with? Like, who do you work with? All of these things, right? Your environment has a huge impact on who you are, how you feel, and what you do. So join me on this little walk and let's talk about it. And I'd love to hear your comments and thoughts below. Just drop me a line below in the comments, subscribe to our channel. I'd really love to hear from you. Join our Facebook group and keep the conversation going, right? Because all this, being the best version of yourself, is also based on community. So that's why this environment stuff is so important. So maybe let's start with like your living situation. I've noticed from my personal life, there's times in my life where I was living alone and times where I've had roommates, and times where I had roommates that it wasn't a good fit and that was no fun, and times where it was really great. Right now, I'm living with a couple of really great guys. We've set up a house together. We're doing lots of stuff together. We also have plenty of time alone to do our own stuff. But the times that we do share together in the house are really inspiring and motivating, right? Whether it's we're doing a workout or playing some football or soccer, or just being silly and messing around, or just cooking some food together. It's a super great feeling with these guys because we're good friends. We understand each other really well and we get along. And that inspires all of us to stay on our best behavior, to keep doing the best at what we do and being the best version of ourselves. And I've noticed other times in my life when I was living alone, sometimes that was really good because I needed that space to kind of, because my job at the time was really intense and I needed that alone time to recover from the work situation. But at other times when work was more quiet and I needed more social life or more social interaction, living alone became a bit of a drag because I noticed that I was having to go out all the time for social, or I felt that I needed to go out all the time for social interaction, and that became a bit of a distraction in a way, if that makes sense. So I'm curious what your current living situation is. Like, have you, after university, have you spent time living alone? Have you spent time living with roommates? How is that going for you? And having roommates where you have a couple of common interests and a couple things where you can inspire each other, where you can broaden each other's horizons, that is super helpful, I think. Anything else we should cover about living situation, the messy ones? Escalations. Maybe we should talk a little bit about critical conversations and escalations when there's disagreements. Part of this is this can be at home or at work, but let's take the case at home maybe first. That's a little bit simpler, hopefully. With the roommate, when something bothers you or makes you upset, or something makes you happy, how do you communicate it? For example, when I'm happy about something or impressed by something, I try and say it as soon as possible. Say, hey, I think it's so cool that you did this, or thank you for doing that. To give a positive energy boost to my friends, to my roommates on a regular basis, because when we give each other good speaking lessons, when we give each other positive energy boosts on a regular basis, that's good for all of us. That ups the energy in the whole house. It ups the energy between the friends, and it's a good feeling for everyone, right? It's like a win-win situation. So I try and do that as much as I can. Now, escalations are a little bit tricky. This is depending how you grew up, right? This is kind of random what kind of skills you have in dealing with conflict. And in my household where I grew up, I didn't learn very well conflict management and learning how to handle conflict in a constructive way. So over the years, I've had some great coaches and learned how to do this stuff, and now I try and do that as much as possible with my friends. And for me, it has a few basic steps. One step is to think about my current state. So if I'm noticing that I'm upset or annoyed, we talked about the happy already. I'm not always annoyed, but we talked about the happy. I express the happiness. But when I'm upset or annoyed, I want to check in with myself and kind of maybe do a little quick checklist like, okay, I'm upset, I'm annoyed. Did I sleep enough? Did I eat enough? Have I had some water? Did I have some coffee? Did I have too much coffee, which can make me a little grouchy sometimes? Kind of that little quick inner checklist. I'll give you an example. If I haven't slept well, or I've been tossing and turning all night. The next day, I tend to be kind of grouchy if my sleep was not good. And that sucks. So it's good for me to know that for myself, that, okay, I didn't sleep really well. I'm kind of grouchy. So things are going to be annoying to me that aren't normally annoying to me. So on those kind of days, I try and ignore that because I know that my signaling, kind of my perception state, is a little bit out of whack, if that makes sense. So when I know that my perception state is out of whack, I do my best to ignore stuff that shouldn't really annoy me on a normal day. Now, what about if I've slept well, I'm happy, I'm in a good mood, my roommate does something that annoys me? How can I handle that? How can I approach that? After I've checked in with myself to see how I'm doing, I have a few questions, right? One question is, has this happened before? Is this the first time, or is this something that's been going on for a long time? It's repeated and I really need to talk about it now. And also, what's the intensity of this feeling right now? Is this is it a mild thing? Is it a serious thing? And then the other thing is, what state is the other person in right now? Like, how's their day going? Did they sleep well? Are they chill and relaxed today? Is this a good time to talk about it? Or is something going on in their life? Did something rough happen at work or with their girlfriend or their relationship or at work? I need to also take consideration of their current state. And then when there's an opportunity to talk about it, I want to talk about it, right? So when the time is right, when we're chill, when we're hanging out, maybe after having some coffee together, maybe after having dinner, joking around, and then I can say, hey, I would like to talk to you about something, please. And then I can bring it up in a constructive way. I don't know if you guys have heard about radical honesty or authentic relating. There are some really good techniques there that talk about stuff we can do or ways we can speak that are more constructive to resolving conflict. So we can say, I notice, it's a really funny language, but bear with me. I know it might sound a bit weird at first, but stay with me, it works out. So I might say something like, hey, I noticed that when I see the paper towels left out in the middle of the counter, I'm feeling annoyed because I get the feeling that you don't care about taking care of the house, and I'm wondering what we can do to make this better. That's just a quick example. Radical honesty, authentic relating is a whole other topic in and of itself, and I can't do it justice in a video like this. But so I open the conversation and we talk about it in a friendly, constructive way. And because I've already checked in with myself and the other person, I know that we're both in a good mood to have this conversation, right? That we can have this discussion in a calm and constructive manner, and then we can take it from there. But hopefully overall with these roommates, I'm having a good time, which I am. That overall we broaden each other's horizons, that we're having a good time with each other, and we enjoy living together, that it really expands our horizons. So I think that's enough about living situation. Maybe with a footnote of where you are geographically, right? Where you are in relation to the places that you go to. You go to school or university or work or gym or other stuff, whatever it is that you're going to every day. How is the geography of your living place affecting your other activities? Are you living close enough to the things that you do all the time, or do you have to drive a long way? Like the last time I changed living location a few years ago, even though the move was inside the same city and even though it was only a couple miles, I noticed it really messed with my routine totally, because it changed how I got to the gym, and that messed with my whole morning routine. And it took me like a year to rebuild that, because I wasn't really conscious of that thing as part of the moving, right? So think about that geographically. How is your geography of your living place affecting your routines? And maybe next time you move, take some time to think about it. How is this going to affect your routine with work, with gym, with friends that you like to see regularly? Are you close enough to living to other friends that they can just come over spontaneously? Or are they so far away that they have to take transportation, and does that make things complicated and less social for you? Is the location of your living situation conductive to social life, or is it hindering your social life? And there's different life phases and different periods of life where where obviously you have different priorities. So I think that's the last footnote about living location. So work. Whew, this is a tough one, right? Work atmosphere. We have to balance all these needs, balancing the need for expressing ourselves in a career or job or field that we want to do. And we might be in a couple different phases. We might be in just a kind of, this is a job just for now because I'm in school and I just need some cash. So I'm going to find something simple and work at a store, at a cafe, at something simple that I don't have to take too seriously, that's kind of fun, and I can make some money and take care of my financial needs. Or it might be actually a more serious, oh, there's something on the ground there, that's funny. What did I find here? Okay, it's not, okay, it's just electronic shit. I don't like when people throw garbage in the park. The other thing it might be your passion, your career. Maybe you're a graphic designer, maybe you're a medical technician. It might be something that's a career-wise, this is your thing. So those are totally different situations, right? So are the financials needs met? Is this just something that's a job just for now, or is it something long term? Are you the type of person who you think you're going to be working like on a career basis for the long term, or you think you're going to be working more on like an employee basis, or more of a freelance entrepreneur type of personality? So those are some things to think about. And then with all that, you also have to consider, how is the workplace environment? Who are the people that you're working with? I've noticed some workplaces that I've been working in with really fun people, people I looked up to, people I admired, people with like good work energy, good ethics, good values. It was so much fun to work with, so much fun to interact with these people, and a feeling of just like camaraderie and like real strength as a team. And I've really enjoyed that. And I've been in some other environments where the environment felt kind of toxic, and that really sucked. And I'll admit that at some of these places, I stayed way too long. You know, there was this one place where I was working for 2 years, and I realized it was kind of toxic, but I had a good manager, so I stayed. And then the manager got promoted, went to another team, and he put a new manager on the team who I really didn't like. And I should have just taken the self-initiative to leave promptly, to start looking for something else and get out of there. But I kind of lingered in that toxic environment with a manager I didn't like, and lingered there for 2 more years. That was kind of stupid of me. I should have just taken the initiative to leave. So the question is, how is your work environment right now? Are the people in the environment conducive to your emotional, social well-being? And I think it's worth thinking about, and I think it's worth looking at. And maybe that's a quick summary of work. Let's go to other stuff like social life, fitness, entertainment, fun, social activities. What are the environments that you put yourself in every week? You know, I try to give myself some time every week for a few different things. One is some alone time for like wellness stuff, like going for a little swim, going to a sauna, going to a steam room, going for a massage, stuff like that. That's just for my personal wellness that I can do by myself. Do something like that every week. It's just a couple hours, but it really helps me chill out, recenter, make my body feel good, make my spirit feel good, and I think it's so important. Are you doing something like that? Are you going for massages? Are you going to go for a swim or do something like that? The sauna is really good, for example. We have evidence that shows that it's good for cardiovascular health and long life and all kinds of other good stuff. And it's just fun to like sweat it all out. You let out all your stress, all your tension. You can stretch, you can relax. So I really enjoy that. Other things, what kind of things are you doing on a weekly basis? I'm making sure that I'm seeing at least 2 or 3 times a week really good friends where we have a lot of fun together, where we have a really good time. We can be silly, we can just go outside and play, we can go see a movie, go out for drinks, whatever it is, making sure I'm seeing those friends and we have fun together and we have a great time and we can just be silly and goofy like you like to be with your friends. Do you have enough friends in your life where you can be silly and goofy like that? And if not, is it time now to still be more in monk mode and investing in yourself alone, or is it time to maybe start being more social and go to some activities where you might meet some people with those common interests? So that's some thought about friends and relationships and environment. I'm trying to think if there's any other points I want to share with you, but I'm sure you guys are going to have a lot more comments and a lot more things to say than I can think about right now. I've only had one coffee so far this morning, so my brain is only half awake, but the sun is out. I thought it's a wonderful opportunity to get out here, enjoy the sun, go for a walk with you guys, and give myself some fresh air and share a little bit with you. So drop me a comment. It would be great if you could subscribe to the channel. It's really great to see you. Wish you a great day. Bye.